Right now, the average American is carrying over $6,000 in credit card debt. Not a mortgage, not student loans, just credit cards. And the scariest part, most of them have no idea how deep the hole actually is. If you're only making minimum payments on that $6,000, and most people are, it could take you over 20 years to pay it off. And by the time you're done, you'll have paid nearly 3 times the original amount. This video is going to show you exactly how this trap was built, why so many people fall into it, and what you can actually do to get out. Stay until the end, because the last part is the one banks really don't want you to see. Let's start with how credit cards actually work, because most people were never taught this. When you buy something with a credit card, the bank pays for it on your behalf. Then you owe the bank that money back. Simple so far. But here's where it gets dangerous. If you don't pay the full balance at the end of the month, the bank starts charging you interest, and not a little interest. The average credit card in America charges around 24% per year. To put that in perspective, if you had $6,000 in a savings account earning 24% interest, you'd be making $1,440 a year just sitting there. But when you owe $6,000 at 24% interest, you're losing $1,440 a year, every year, just in interest, not paying down the debt, just keeping the bank happy. Now here's the part that makes this a trap and not just an inconvenience. Every credit card has a minimum payment. It's usually around 1 to 2% of your balance. On a $6,000 debt, that's about $25 to $30 a month. Sounds manageable, right? That's exactly what the bank wants you to think, because when you only pay the minimum, almost none of it goes toward your actual debt. Most of it goes straight to interest. Your balance barely moves. The bank collects its money. And next month, you do it all over again. This is not a bug in the system. This is the system. Banks designed minimum payments specifically to keep you in debt as long as possible. The longer you're in debt, the more they make. So why are so many Americans in this situation in the first place? There are 3 reasons that nobody talks about honestly. The first is the gap between cost of living and wages. Over the last 20 years, the cost of housing, groceries, healthcare, and education has gone up dramatically. But for most Americans, salaries have not kept up. When your expenses grow faster than your income, credit cards stop being a convenience and start being a necessity. Millions of Americans aren't in debt because they're irresponsible. They're in debt because they're trying to survive. The second reason is how easy banks make it to get a card. There's no class you have to take, no test you have to pass. Banks send pre-approved offers in the mail. They set up tables on college campuses. They make the process as fast and painless as possible. Because the easier it is to get a card, the more people will use one. And the more people use one, the more the bank makes. The third reason is education, or the complete lack of it. Most Americans go through 12 years of school without ever learning what APR means, how compound interest works, or why minimum payments are a financial trap. This is not an accident. A financially educated population would be a much less profitable population for the banks. Let's talk about the real numbers, because most people have never seen them laid out honestly. Total American credit card debt right now is over $1 trillion. That's not a typo. $1,000 billion. The average household that carries a balance pays over $1,000 every single year in interest alone. Not paying off debt, just interest. Money that disappears and buys them absolutely nothing. And here's the number that should make you genuinely angry. The same bank that charges you 24% interest on your credit card is probably paying you 0.5% interest on your savings account. They borrow your money for almost nothing. Then they lend it back to you at 24%. That gap, that enormous gap, is pure profit for them and pure loss for you. Now let's talk about what you can actually do, because knowing how the trap works is only useful if you know how to get out. Step 1 is to stop adding to the debt. This sounds obvious, but it's the most important step. You cannot make progress if you keep moving backward. If you have to cut the card in half, do it. Step 2 is called the avalanche method. Write down every debt you have and the interest rate on each one. Keep making minimum payments on all of them. But take any extra money you have, even $50 a month, and put it all toward the debt with the highest interest rate. Once that one is paid off, move to the next highest. This method saves you the most money because you're eliminating the most expensive debt first. Step 3, and this one surprises most people, is to call your bank and ask for a lower interest rate. Most people don't know this is an option, but if you've been a customer for a few years and you've been making your payments, there's a real chance they'll say yes. A reduction from 24% to 18% on a $6,000 balance saves you $360 a year. For a phone call, that takes 10 minutes. Credit card debt is not a moral failure. It's not proof that you're bad with money or that you don't work hard enough. It's the result of a system that was carefully designed to take money from regular people and move it to banks. But now you understand how that system works. And that changes everything. If this video gave you something useful, hit subscribe. Every week we break down exactly how money works in America, the parts they don't teach you in school. See you in the next one.